You're hearing nothing at all from the Prime Minister. Every day you hear they're going around the country handing out more money. Here's something else. Last month, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank hosted a growth forum for the member territories of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. There were representatives of government and opposition and civil society organizations at that meeting, where the growth of the economies in the ECCU was looked at and discussed, and where some broad goals emerged, to which there was no objection at the meeting. Nobody stood up in the meeting and said, I don't think we can do this, or I don't think we can do that. Everybody from all of the territories representing at that meeting left the meeting with the impression and the satisfaction, the feeling that, number one, the economies in the ECCU can grow by 5%. That the economies in the ECCU are capable and therefore should generate 60,000 new jobs by 2025. And that on average, the grouping should find itself in the top 50 around the world for the ease of doing business, which is an achievement that would allow more business to be done, more international business to be done in the region, more investments to flow in, etc., more transfers of technology, more job creation, etc. The government of the country was represented at that meeting. You had the minister responsible for enterprise, it is? What is McIntyre responsible? Investments and enterprise and economic development? That's Colin McIntyre, Dr. Colin McIntyre. He was there with the PS. The financial secretary of Dominica was at the meeting. Mrs. Kerry didn't come. Okay? At that meeting, I was the one who stood up and asked, given these goals that we are accepting at this meeting, what is going to be the organizational alignment of resources country by country to ensure that we meet the targets? I placed that on the agenda because I didn't want us to be in a situation where we come, we have spoken, we left, we talk about growth, but having done that, nothing happens in the country, and because I've seen it in Dominica over and over and over again. But Mrs. Kerry is part of discussions at the level of the Monetary Council of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, where he's part of decisions that are made. The decisions come out that we will do this year and we'll do that next year. And at no point in the last 13 years that Mrs. Kerry has sat on the Monetary Council has he come back to Dominica and led discussions in Dominica about the goals that the Monetary Council have set, either for the performance of the revenue and expenditure performance of government, or the performance of the economy, or inflows of foreign direct investment. Nothing of the sort. The meetings happen, and whatever happens in the meeting dies in the meeting. It seems that what happened at the Growth Forum is dying at the Growth Forum in terms of the growth of the Dominica economy. Because do not tell me, you're having all of these meetings as government, and there is not a single discussion with anybody about how this economy of Dominica can begin to grow by 5%, and how we can move towards a realistic goal of 12,000 jobs in Dominica by the year 2025. But we are putting it on the agenda that as the parliamentary opposition, we are working towards ensuring that by 2025, Dominica will have at least 12,000 new jobs. We're not going to sit back and ignore what has been agreed for the growth and progress of the region and be involved in a totally vai different kind of agenda that does not address our fundamental needs for economic growth and for jobs and for improved means of livelihood, improved opportunities for livelihood in this country part of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. And so, Matt, yes, we talk about all these things. We know what the problems in Dominica are. The problems are poor governance, corrupt governance that has served the needs of ministers and their friends, but not the broad interest of the country in terms of poverty reduction and in terms of building a better quality of life for people. We remain passionate about Dominica becoming the best place to live, the best place to work, and the best place to enjoy life. We believe that that cannot happen at all with this Dominica Labour Party in government, especially given the disgraceful leadership conduct of Roosevelt Skerrit that has tied up the office of Prime Minister with criminality, with disgraceful, roguish behavior around the world. And the people of Dominica therefore have a duty which they are responding to, a duty that they have stood up to accept, that this man must leave the office of Prime Minister.
Alex Linton, thank you so much this morning. 8:51 reaction to this big news of the Labour Party yesterday with the insurance cream. Somebody saying, Matt, let's see if we can get that. Somebody saying something to me that I want to share with you this morning. And Skerrit is playing the ultimate chess game. He's playing the good, optimistic guy who gives regardless. And Lennox responds as a bad cop. And Lennox is falling exactly where Skerrit wants him to fall. Big psychology you think is going on there, huh? It's 8:51 in the morning. Somebody says it's just another red clinic, this insurance business. Hello, talk to me.
I say praises, thanks, blessings, and glory to all those with humanity. Mr. Pelter, blessings and your family, sir.
To you, sir.
I do not say the bad cop. Did you hear the brothers come saying any form of social assistance that the people can get, it is healthy, Matt?
I haven't heard that, no. I guess what is somebody analysis?
No, I'm saying Lennox, his opening remark, he mentioned, how, any form of assistance that the people could get, it would, it is good. But it's in the manner in which it is done or was done. That's what I heard. I'm sitting right there. Matt, are you there with me, sir?
I'm following.
So it is sad for somebody to just say, the good cop and the bad cop. I mean, come on, you just go with the flow and the tide take you where you don't want to go. But, Matt, you said that you would open the line for a few minutes, so you passed that.
Go ahead, my brother. On what you want to speak.
Yeah, I want to call on Dr. David Johnson and the Dr. Daru and all of them, We're waiting on the report from the University of Trinidad, CAFA, having to do with the flu that killed some people and got a lot of us sick, and we were wondering what's up. If it's not swine flu, tell us. We're waiting still.
You want the results?
Yes. Matt, what happened to that story? My brother, I do not want you to bite up more than you can chew. I understand and I sympathize and empathize with you, my brother, based on your plate is filled, having to do with so many issues. How you say it, Matt? This country is pregnant with issues and trying to deliver at least once or two or three.
Yeah, 1 or 2 a day, huh?
A day, and I can understand that, and I really do. I do not envy you, my brother. But, Matt, what about that beyond the grave with Atherton Nesty? Matt, what has happened to Rosie Douglas and Pierre Charles? Matt, what has happened to Don Christopher? Has to be tempered, Matt, because we are just going down a dead end, a cul-de-sac, Matt, and Dominicans are waiting for the axe to fall. And those who know better and those who have influence, Matt, what they do, they buy them up. So they're there, watching the country go to hell. A lot of them making provisions for them to go elsewhere, because look at Venezuela, an oil-rich country, the world's second largest oil reserve. Now it is poorer than Haiti, Matt. And you're telling me a country like Dominica, you have a madman at the helm, Matt, running the country into the ground, Matt. And you mean nobody of relevance, as we have it, Matt, quote unquote, in Dominica. Nobody who is somebody, nobody who is influential, because the parliamentary oppositions, they are nobody. The people who are voicing the opinions like me, we are nobody. But the somebodies of Dominica cannot see where we're heading because they give them to sell diplomatic passports and giving them good deal. Look, $2 million going into Belfast, and they just giving money, and the country is going to, it is not sustainable. It is going to crash eventually. And you mean to tell me somebody would talk about good cop and bad cop? That level of madness has to stop. Blessings, sir.
All right, blessings to you too. Let's see if we can take another phone call there, take a break and come back. Hello.
Yes, good morning, Matt.
Yes, sir.
Good morning to your listeners. Matt, I am not the brightest bulb in the room, Matt. I may be just a 10 watt amid some 100 watt bulbs. But, Matt, you know, it begs the question. We have something like this new program that is mentioned, Matt. But a matter like that, as mentioned by the pastor yesterday, should have gone through Parliament. You don't get up overnight, take $5 million, give it to somebody and say, we have a health, or whatever they want to call it, Matt. Matt, this is madness. And then for somebody to call and talk about good cop, bad cop, Matt, we need to be thinking much deeper, Matt. We need to be thinking very seriously, and we need to get off our little naive, village mentality in the 21st century, Matt. Matt, we talk on one hand about globalization. We talk about markets, and we talk about, Matt, we use these larger, wider phrases, Matt. Yet, our thinking and our actions and behavior reflect that of a backward village mentality in everything that we do. But it distresses me that the University of the West Indies and PAHO would identify themselves with something they call a pilot project that has not gone through the Parliament, Matt. And it concerns me, Matt. It concerns me the quality and level of leadership structure that exists throughout CARICOM, Matt. But we are some little dots in the ocean floor called islands in the Caribbean. It is through CARICOM that we are able to function and maybe get any kind of respect. Matt, Dominica is a little island, not even the OECS, Matt. Yet, Matt, we do not function as, I don't know what is CARICOM. We have to ask now, what is CARICOM? What does it represent? It is not a government, it is just an organization where the countries, the citizens, pay to have some elitist people sit down, attend meetings, drink coffee, go to... Matt, there is no benefit that is derived from CARICOM or even the OECS, except, Matt, one thing with the OECS was the ability to stabilize our currency, Matt. But I am asking, I am begging our young people, Matt, our young people who are now being educated at UE and other universities, Matt, think, put your head on. And if somebody gives you $5 million to have a, what they call it, program, Matt, but you must have money coming in because 2-3 challenged pregnancies or 2-3 children with challenges, Matt, could wipe that out in a few months, Matt. But there is no plan for continuity. And as the leader of the opposition mentioned, you have selected just a small segment of the community, yet you have not told anybody at all on what basis or what was the criteria for the selection of that stuff. But these sort of things, and people who are supposed to be sensible, they clap this nonsense without actually saying, look, hey, let's hold up a bit. What is the structure behind of this? What's the policy? What's the procedure? How does somebody get the benefit? How is it distributed? Is it on the whim and fancy? Because as we know, Matt, there are no existing functional institutions in Dominica at the moment. None, Matt. None at all. So tell us, please, why is it that those people who have sense, who's supposed to know better, sit down and clap this foolishness instead of saying, look, Mr. Prime Minister, this is not how this sort of thing is done. Okay? We are a country of laws, of institutions. We are governed by a parliament. I hear Mr. Skerry signing loans here, there, and everywhere. I thought that it is the parliament that had the authority to borrow those things. None of those go to parliament, not before, not after, not during. Dominicans need to get serious. The country is already in hell. People say we're going there. We are already there, Matt.
All right, let's take another phone call. Thank you very much. Then we'll talk. The Builders and Contractors Association, he's already seated. I'm hearing a lot of talk floating around that a lot of money is being spent on that case with the Prime Minister. Hello, talk to me.
Yes, Matt, good morning to you.
Yes, sir, quickly.
Yeah, quickly. Matt, let me tell you, I don't know why when the leader of the opposition responds to issues of national interest, people want to compare and say he's trapped again with Skerrit rhetoric. Let Skerrit go with his old rhetoric and his old game. That is his game to play. Subsequently, the country will feel it. But I agree that you don't respond to everything. But I think the leader of the opposition has done quite a good job with respect to responding because of national interest. But quickly, Matt, this is the same leader who told us not too long ago that when you run in a shop, and this shop makes $4,000, you cannot pay $6,000. Now he has compared the country running a shop. Now who is the manager of the shop that he runs? It's the same leader. Now the leader is saying that in a sense that if we listen well, that the country is cooling. He just cannot do it again because he cannot pay civil servants because that shop now it is not generating the revenue so that you can pay what you have to pay. And it's the same man now that come $5 million for insurance, gave Lee at $8 million. And you know, the interesting thing, nobody asked about the results to the Dominica. When we do things, we do not ask about results because we have given Lee at $8 million. No one is saying that if Lee has come out from debt or if Lee is in a better position. And that is the kind of thing we are. So we are in. So the point is, if the man tells you that I'm the owner of a shop and that shop cool under me, you still have that man as your leader? That man needs to go. And that's the kind of thing about it because he just told, he's on record telling you, I cannot run the shop. The shop, I just cannot give you what you want, civil servant, or other people, I can't give you what you want because that shop does not run in well. I cannot manage. And that is simple language. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, let's take a break and then we'll come back. This is Q 9to5 Radio, right here on Q.
It's a 6-week pre-Easter promotion happening at the Healthy Living Wellness Center, March 6 to April 15, 2017, offering 25% discount on all services. Get the benefits of a lifetime member. Call them today at 440-8988.
Get the fastest home internet on island from Digicel Play. With speeds 3 times faster than the competitor, plus over 60% savings. Pay only $89 monthly for 8 megabytes internet with Digicel Play. Sign up with a sales representative in your community or call 616-1600 or 616-1700. Experience the fastest home internet with Digicel Play. Digicel terms and conditions apply.
Do you want to drive longer for less? New state-of-the-art Rubis Ultratech gasoline and diesel fuel uses advanced fuel technology to optimize your vehicle's performance and improve its fuel economy. By removing deposits, Ultratech helps keep your engine clean and running like new. What does this really mean for you? Simple. You drive longer and save money. Fuel the difference with Rubis Ultratech fuel. Get Rubis. Get going.
Comme madame a reporté ça que vous achetez médecine pour des petits pharmacies, you were Harry the good boss in class, if you want to support and learning. It is how cafe Episa and not well my last 2 words. Episa. Harry upon yes is true. Pisa money on Chipotla. Doctor Dimo to make the urine and zemo 3 times a day. Madame Lieli do urine Harry, no medicine for shape are you. And where's the prescription? It is me a posh mommy. What's the sense of buying that? Lemocrapi say good time. No, you see the importance of going to your pharmacist, listening to your pharmacist, and having confidence in your pharmacist. FPS.plus will they place a higher premium on patient-pharmacist relationship than Quick Care Pharmacy quoting Halsbro just before the National Bank. Kote Quick Care is not just a quick fix. It's not just about tablets and spoonfuls. They've brought back the care into medicine. Whether it's a prescription or over-the-counter medication, the priority is your health. To take the right medication, the right amount for the right reason. Madam Harry D. Harry, I see you writing your medical book, Next of King. Henrietta Harry, movie farmer. By the way, it's Next of King, King. The Harry Ukakemo movie. All I want for you is good care. That is why I always recommend Quick Care Pharmacy because they have growth.
Dominica, this morning we're spending some time. Of course, there are, as I said, many issues that we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, but we try to take them or deliver like a pregnant woman one day at a time. But we're here, we're talking with the Builders and Contractors Association. We haven't gotten an update as to what is going on with the case with the Prime Minister, but I mean, that and other issues will surface this morning. And he has said, well, if anything you want to talk about, Matt, feel free to talk about it. So the Builders and Contractors Association is, on cue this morning to talk to us. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Dominica. Good morning to the builders and contractors and all the employees, all Dominicans that are engaged in construction. This morning we're here I'm here to speak about our upcoming AGM. It's going to be on the 19th of April, 2 weeks' time, Wednesday after Easter Monday.
Are members really interested? I mean, we get straight to it. Are they really interested in making that a success, the Builders and Contractors Association?
Well, those who are members are generally interested. There's no doubt that as it is in Dominica, there are many people who sit by the wayside or on the fence and let's see what's happening, and then we'll decide whether to join or not, or see what benefits we can get. But the point is, if you don't get into the shape, you can't steer it where you want it, and you can't determine what the benefits are going to be. Construction is the livelihood of many Dominicans. I think we checked some time ago, and there were at one time, close to 200 persons who registered themselves as some business in construction in Dominica. We do not have the majority of those persons in membership. It's probably because those of us who are there doing a pretty good job in keeping construction alive and keeping construction on the agenda for Dominica. But nonetheless, there's a lot of work to be done, and if a few of us do all the work, then we could only achieve some, not all. And it's important that we achieve much more than we are doing now.
All right. But, this spell for me, because there's always been a myth, you know that, Mr. LeBlanc. There's always been a myth that this is a big boys club.
Man, I thought you graduated from this point. I thought we moved on.
I'm saying, but it keeps reoccurring like a decimal there.
That is a big boys club.
Okay, that is a big boys club.
Matt, I think we have gone through that, and I don't want to kill that dead horse again. But as we have said, I'm a small guy, so if it's a big boy club, I should be out of it for one. And a lot of our members are small artisan, because the membership is open to tradesmen, to small subcontractors, those who do tiling, those who do painting, those who do sheetrock, those who specialize in roofing, those who specialize as labor subcontractors. Membership is open to everybody, and everybody has an equal vote. the only thing that you can speak about where one member is more than the other in terms of dues. We pay due according to your yearly turnover, so the larger players pay more, but they have the same vote. So it is, if anything, it is skewed against the larger players, not for them. So the small individuals, the guy who do a subcontract for 100,000 for a year, for his entire year, he has an equal vote with the guy who does $15 million work a year. So it's not a big boy club at all. The guy who is the subcontractor or who just put tiles all his life can be the president of the association, can be the treasurer, can be anybody in the association. So it's open to everybody under equal terms. There are bylaws, there's a constitution, and it's governed by that. We cannot do what the constitution doesn't allow us to do. But I'm here this morning to remind persons that it's our livelihood, and it's not the livelihood of Stuart Paris or Steve or Kelvin or anybody on the executive. And that if you don't like how the association is going.
How big is the membership?
How big is the membership? Membership is, I think, in the region of 30 last time I checked.
Okay.
I don't think it's much more than that. There's a flux. People come in and people lapse on the membership.
So once there's controversy, and if you want quote-unquote sensationalism, the members will flock in.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
If there's interest.
No. At the end of the day, it is people's livelihood, and they decide what they want change in the association, or whether they want the association to contribute to their livelihood. And that's what it is. There are different things that take the spotlights now and then. Like for this meeting, what's going to take the spotlight is insurance in the construction sector. So we are going to be talking about the different forms of insurance that are necessary in the construction sector, insurance and bonds.
Are you hoping that you'll get some of the insurance money floating around? I'm being told $5 million for young mothers.
No, we're not in the insurance business. We're in the buying of insurance business. And that's one thing that we encourage in the construction industry, that we take insurance to deal with workmen accidents and so on, and also medical insurance, things like that. The thing about the $5 million that the pilot program doesn't take into account a lot of our employees, because most of our employees are young men, and young men sometimes with a child who they support themselves. And those are the hard-working young men that we have in this country. And the new medical insurance scheme, the pilot thing that Social Security has in place with the government, doesn't seem to cater for those young men who are in construction, which is kind of strange. And I don't know why it is the young women who are single mothers, but not the young men who are mothers themselves. I would like to see it promote family life, really, and promote a holistic development of children and families. But the other side, we're talking about all other insurances. We're talking about workmen compensation insurance. We'll be talking about contractors all risk insurance. We'll be talking about equipment insurance. We'll be talking even further, medical insurance, group insurance, that we can look at as BCAD. Some of our organizations already have that, but some don't. We also will be speaking about bonds. What's the best way to cover bonds? So we'll be talking about insurance. Construction has a lot in it, but we have to concentrate on one thing at a time. And the invitation, we are inviting in the non-business session, the non-formal session or the formal session, not only contractors, but we'll be inviting employers and banks, and the insurance companies will be making presentation at that session.
All right, so you have some people expected there to make presentations.
Sure. We are involving. And
how expensive is insurance for construction workers?
It can be pretty expensive. It depends on what you're covering.
What is usually covered?
Well, it depends on the contract that you have, but generally you have to cover workmen if there's an accident or death. Hopefully not. We have had a few deaths in construction over the last 3 years, average one a year. It covers catastrophe. You build in the bridge and another Erica come and takes it, there's a replacement value for that. The insurance usually covers that. Okay, you need to cover your equipment. Recently, one of our contractors had an equipment that was damaged on site, so you have to cover that. If you don't cover that, you may not be able to replace it. And generally, the contracts require that you cover every equipment on site, so you need to cover that. So those are the main types of insurance you have. And of course, you have public liability insurance, third party. So that if in building, that building in Roseau, let's say the post office, if the scaffold falls down and damage a car, injure somebody, that's third party insurance needs to cover that. You know? Those are the things that is generally covered. And of course, there are bonds. If you at tender stage, properly constituted tender process will have a bond required, so that if you and Matt put a price of $500 and I put a price of $450, we have to put a bond. We have to put a sum of money or commitment to pay a sum of money that if any of us is awarded the contract, we're going to go ahead with it. That's what the tender bond is. And the performance bond is if you're awarded the contract for $500, you put a bond of usually between 1% and 2% of 10 and up to 20% of that value. So we're speaking about $100 to $200 a bond saying that I'm going to complete that job. Okay, so all of this sometimes the insurance provides, sometimes the banks provide. But we will be speaking about all of that. Hopefully we'll be taking questions and trying to get contractors to be more vigilant about how they go about insuring or not insuring and taking out bonds. Yeah.
Very, very, very interesting there. In April coming up, construction workers, take note. Some very important issues will be discussed at that very important AGM. It's going to come up, Mr. LeBlanc. Of course, we saw a big article on the front page of the Sun newspaper as it relates to your big case with the Prime Minister. What's going on there?
Well, first of all, the meeting, let's remind everybody, the meeting is the 19th of April. It's the Wednesday after Easter Sunday. It's being held at Fort Young. It starts at 5 p.m. And then from the non-business session where we talk about insurances, I have a few short addresses. We go into the business of the AGM, which is elections, reports, appointments of auditors, and so on. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go back. There's not a case with the Prime Minister. There's a case
with the government of Dominica.
Government of Dominica. Yes, some officials are named, and necessarily so. I think you missed an article in the Sun, the editorial. The editorial spoke about the delay in bringing cases to the fore and the speed that needs to happen.
So that article, as you said, the editorial was in the Sun. I may have missed that one.
Yes. That's a very relevant article, and it is a cry in our democratic society for speedy adjudication of cases. But that is set aside. Yes, we have spent quite a bit of money so far on this case because the construction sector think it's a very relevant case. It's about getting the administrative arm of government to implement and to follow the acts of parliament, the laws of the country. So that those laws were meant to ensure that the country function well. And if the administrative arm totally ignores the act or in effect do an administrative repeal, put it aside, then the country cannot function as it ought to. And Parliament needs to go back and see what's going on with that. And what we are asking the court to do is to get the administrative arm, to get the civil servants, because at the end of the day, it's the civil servants who don't follow whether instruction from the political directorate or not. It's the civil servants who don't apply the law, and it's illegal for civil servants not to apply the law of the country. Yes, we have spent a lot of money, as you have said, and it's all in that interest. And I'm told there are certain contractors or other professionals who are frightened by the amount of money that we have to spend. But all we are asking is to do it in good conscience. You contribute to the cause. It's a worthy cause. It's for your own livelihood. That the public procurement in Dominica is a transparent one that allows opportunity for everybody who can perform. And it should be helping those contractors who can perform to elevate themselves by constantly improving. And the competition is good for all of us. And more so, it's good for the taxpayers. The taxpayers end up paying less for works. And basically, that's what we have been doing. Running with the effort to make sure that the public sector functions properly within the laws of the country.
But we're hearing that you guys may have spent over $250,000, man. That's a lot of money for a small association like yours in the courts.
Matt, it is a lot of money.
You think it's worth it?
Of course, Matt, it's worth it. Doing good is always worth it. And making sure that good is done is always worth it. I mean, none of us can get to heaven without doing what is good. And we should all strive to doing what is good. And sometimes doing good costs. I mean, we're on the heels of Good Friday. Jesus did the best that he could for us.
I can see you're a profound Catholic, huh?
Yes, Matt. Yeah, yes, Matt. So we have not to shy away from doing good. And sometimes it's sacrifice. I mean, it's as you said, it's a Lenten time. It's a time of making sacrifice. And making sacrifice for the good of the country is very important, for the good of construction, which is what BCAD is doing, and the good of the entire private sector. Because at the end of the day, whatever benefits the construction sector,
everybody will benefit.
The private sector. It will benefit Q95 and all the broadcasting. Because at the end of the day, even the new proposed act sidelines broadcasting rights, procurement by the government, that the government can select who it pays for broadcasting rather than having it open. So it affects everybody. It affects the media, it affects the hotels, the hotel association, it affects all of us. And it's time that we come together seriously on public procurement and stop putting our political likings and dislikes forward instead of a livelihood. Yeah. So Matt, the AGM is coming up, as we said, it's coming up on the 19th of April. It is the Wednesday after Easter Sunday. We'll be talking insurances, but we'll also be electing officials to run the association for another year. It's important that people register to make sure and pay up their dues to make sure that they can vote and to make sure they can decide who should lead the association. I personally have no objection if the rest of the construction sector doesn't want me to lead the association. That would be a democratic right. But in order to use your democratic right, we all have to come out, pay our dues, and make sure we are there to vote.
That's a big meeting coming up there, April 19th. Huh?
April 19th.
All right, we're going to come back, Dominica, right after this.
Mothers, grandmothers, godmothers, stepmothers, get ready for the Mania 7-Eleven Plus Super Center Big Edge and Digicel second annual Mother's Day Party. Anchorage Hotel Mother's Day Sunday, May 4th, 6 p.m. to midnight. Second annual Mother's Day Party. Mother's Day, 6 p.m. to midnight, Anchorage Hotel. Swinging Stars, Mr. Mix, Matt in the Morning, Prince Weddings. Dominion 7-Eleven Plus, Big Edge and Digicel. Mother's Day Dance Party, Mother's Day, 6 p.m. to midnight. L'année passée était super. L'année ça n'a qu'à être chouette, qu'à être génial, qu'à être très formidable.
Right about now, the Marigot Development Corporation presents Marigot Reunion 2017 Mayfest International Gospel Revival, Sunday, April 23rd from 6 p.m. sharp, hosted by Yannick Victor and Kenson Wilshire, featuring live out of the Nature Isle, Sanctified, the SDA All-Star Band featuring Lester Celestin and the man Nell. International ministries include Bridget Blusher, Marlon Anderson and Michael Reed. Also featuring live on stage DJ Miracle and the man DJ Alfie. That happening Sunday, April 23rd, starting 6 p.m. sharp at the Marigot Fisheries Complex. Adults $25, children only $10 gets you in. The Mayfest International Gospel Revival brought to you in part by Countryside Bread, Mrs. Studman, Q95 FM Radio, Lubia Spring Water, Prevo Enterprises, Happy Car Rentals, Digicel Play, Marigot Development Corporation, Fruiter, and Digicel. It's all about Sunday, April 23rd, Marigot Reunion 2017, Mayfest International Gospel Revival. See you there.
Every time I look to you.
Time to sleep, darling.
Dad, are there any monsters under the bed?
Not while I'm here. You're safe and sound.
Feeling cared for, protected, and secure. It's a feeling that every Massey United Insurance customer knows. After all, they're in the same safe hands, protected by our financial strength, stability, and experience, and cared for by our team. Now, all our customers are even more secure with the sound strength of Massey. It's a great feeling. Massey United Insurance. To learn more, contact our agents, JB Charles and Company Limited at 448-2876, CAM Dupini Inc. at 448-3012, and LA Dupini and Company Limited at 448-2310.
Danger Entertainment and Heineken presents DJ Private Ryan Live Saturday, April 8th at the Strip on the Lubia Highway, 8 p.m. till. Tickets $35 in advance, $40 at the gate, $100 VIP.
Home Base Limited introduces Redex to help prevent septic backups against grease and paper buildup. Redex contains 100% natural bacteria and minimizes bad odor from septic tanks. Contact 440-0565, 612-3696, or 275-2363 to know more about Redex. Think Home Base Limited for your safety.
Okay, Dominica, we have a few more minutes with our friend here from the Builders and Contractors Association. Big meeting coming up April 19th. How you guys are, before we wrap it up, are you really involved in the local work at this time? I know a lot of noises were made about the West Bridge. Are you getting work these days?
Well, we had an increased amount of work funded externally for some of us. We have more of CDB work out, World Bank work. Those we can tender on without any issue.
Okay.
There are certain group of us who are pretty much banned from public sector procurement unless some miracle happens. I had a case some time ago when when IS was invited to some work, and
are we talking some members? Or are we talking all the members here?
I don't think it's all the members, because at the end of the day, Matt, the membership of BCAD is open to everyone, no matter what your political affiliation or color is, or religious affiliation. It's open to everybody whose livelihood involves construction.
Okay.
But some of us who talk on principle in this country are sidelined in terms of making work available. And
are we making this political? Is this political, you think?
When you say we, you mean you and I?
No, I'm saying, but some members may receive and some members will not. So is this political?
But I don't know what it is, but at the end of the day, it's not good for the country.
Partisan politics, more.
It's possible, but it's not good
Everything
for the country.
Everything is politics. We're talking about partisan politics, okay?
Yeah. But it's a type of politics that's not good for the country, because the administration is opening itself to only a limited amount of the skills of this country. And an administration that's trying to build the country on half its skills is not building the country well. And that's what's happening. The growth of businesses in the private sector is the growth of the economy generally. And if we only want to grow a certain sector or a certain type or a certain set of businesses who have political affiliation with one party or the other, we are limiting the growth of the country. And it's no wonder that the country is struggling now, because we're not allowing the country to bear fruit from all its trees. So we have to do a little better than that in terms of...
Somebody's been trying to talk to us for a few minutes here. Are you there, caller? Sorry, I kept you on the line.
Yes, Matt, I'm here.
All right, sir, go ahead.
Yes, Matt. Well, let me congratulate Picard and particularly Mr. LeBlanc. And let me say to Mr. LeBlanc, what I find in Dominica, there are lots of organizations, but you only find a handful of people who are actually doing or carrying the load of whatever the organization is. So don't feel too bad. The other thing, though, significant about this whole thing is some people like to say no politics. My friend, politics is in every single, it undermines every single living thing in that country. Take, for example, you have an organization which I think is very healthy and good for the country. It enhances the proficiency of the artisans. It makes them more competent. It provides a certain level of proficiency. But you are going to find, as Mr. LeBlanc said, that if you're outspoken, then you are going to find there are going to be somebody in there who will not be outspoken. They will be given a job, and then they will say, well, yes, you say the organization, we have such and such a person in the organization. But it is not because of the organization, it's because they're going to select. And that is what has been happening in the country. It is sad, but it is true that this administration undermines every single living institution by interjecting partisan, petty politics into the whole thing. And then, well, of course, if I'm benefiting, what do I care? The trade unions have been undermined in such fashion. They take all these people on the NEP and they put them in the public service. Now, public servants can go up or down because if they do anything, all they do is send them home, they use the NEP. They will do the same thing in the construction. They will undermine the organization, not realizing that the strength of these organizations contribute to meaningful development of the country. If you have a government that is not interested in meaningful development, in independence of the people, they believe in dependence rather than independence, then that is what you're going to have. But I think what you're doing, your attempt is very good. You know, that is something I would support 100%.
All right, caller, thank you very much. 2 questions before you go. Are you optimistic going forward in terms of what will come from the courts, in terms of the transparency?
Yes, we are optimistic.
And procurement, yeah?
Yes, we are optimistic. I think we have a very good and arguable case. We are waiting on the judge to make a decision. So we are optimistic that if we were not, we would not have started in the first place. And from all that have transpired so far, there is no reason for devalued optimism. I want to thank the caller for his contribution, and yes, we'll continue to work in a principled manner and work with the government. Our intention is always to work with the government. They may not always be interested in working with us, but we have one country to build, and we're interested. We are here to build this country. It takes a lot of work in this environment. Yes, it affects our membership. Some people feel offended that we challenge the government on issues, which shouldn't be, because that is to help in their livelihood. And that's why I want to throw it out to every employee, every wife, every daughter, every son of a contractor, of a subcontractor, of an artisan, a tiler, to make an effort to register. Come at the meeting on the 19th. It starts at 5 p.m. at Fort Young. Come understand a little more of insurances in the construction sector. And also come to contribute. Come to vote. Come to make a decision on who should lead the construction sector for the next year. It doesn't have to be me. It has to be the person that you want.
So we'll see a new executive come the 19th.
That is the decision of the members of the construction sector.
Are you willing to serve?
I'm willing to serve. I have been willing. I have decided to contribute a few of my years to the executive of the construction sector if the construction sector wants me. I've contributed quite a few years to the Engineering Association and to the Board of Engineers. I think it's the time for the construction sector that I can move it forward. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort. There's a lot to do. We need more hands on deck than we have. As the caller said, it's a Dominican syndrome. A lot of organization, but there are only a few people at the helm who work and that makes a big difference.
That's always been the case. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for coming forward, and we'll wish you all the best on the 19th.
Yes, thank you. And I think we are scheduled to come back here again on the 11th to continue that discussion.
Continue to discuss. Thank you so much. All right?
Thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
Bye.
Mothers, grandmothers, godmothers, stepmothers, get ready for the Mania 7-Eleven Plus Super Center Big Edge and Digicel second annual Mother's Day Party. Anchorage Hotel Mother's Day Sunday, May 4th, 6 p.m. to midnight. Second annual Mother's Day Party. Mother's Day, 6 p.m. to midnight, Anchorage Hotel. Swinging Stars, Mr. Mix, Mad in the Morning, Prince Weddings. Dominion 7-Eleven Plus, Big Edge and Digicel. Mother's Day Dance Party, Mother's Day, 6 p.m. to midnight. L'année passée était super. L'année ça n'a qu'à être chouette, qu'à être génial, qu'à être très formidable.
Comme madame a reporté ça que quoi chez médecin pour député en pharmacie where Harry did good boss in class if you want to support and learning it is how cafe episa and not well my last 2 weeks episa Harry upon yes is true pizza money on support la don't tell him up to make urine and see more 3 times a day madame Lily do urine Harry no medicine for sleep are you and where's the prescription it me a push mommy what is the sense of buying that lemon capice tout temps no you see the importance of going to your pharmacist listening to your pharmacist and having confidence in your pharmacist PS.Plus will they place a higher premium on patient-pharmacist relationship than Quick Care Pharmacy Kote Halsbro just before the National Bank. Kote Quick Care is not just a quick fix. It's not just about tablets and spoonfuls. They brought back the care into medicine. Whether it's a prescription or over-the-counter medication, the priority is your health. To take the right medication, the right amount for the right reason. Madam Harry, I see right in your medical book, next of King, Henrietta, Harry, movie farmer. By the way, is next of King, King, the Harry Ukakemo movie. All I want for you is good care. That is why I always recommend Quick Care Pharmacy because they have
Right about now, the Marigot Development Corporation presents Marigot Reunion 2017 Memphis International Gospel Revival, Sunday, April 23rd from 6 p.m. sharp, hosted by Yannick Victor and Kenson Wilshire, featuring live out of the Nature Isle, Sanctified, the SDA All-Star Band featuring Lester Celestin and the man Nell. International ministries include Bridget Blusher, Marlon Anderson and Michael Reed. Also featuring live on stage DJ Miracle and the man DJ Alfie. That's happening Sunday, April 23rd, starting 6 p.m. sharp at the Marigot Fisheries Complex. Adults $25, children only $10 gets you in. The Mayfest International Gospel Revival brought to you in part by Countryside Bread, Mrs. Studman, Q95 FM Radio, Lubia Spring Water, Prevo Enterprises, Happy Car Rentals, Digicel Play, Marigot Development Corporation, Fruiter, and Digicel. It's all about Sunday, April 23rd, Marigot Reunion 2017, Mayfest International Gospel Revival. See you there.
Every time I look to you.
Time to sleep, darling.
Dad, are there any monsters under the bed?
Not while I'm here. You're safe and sound.
Feeling cared for, protected, and secure. It's a feeling that every Massey United Insurance customer knows. After all, they're in the same safe hands, protected by our financial strength, stability, and experience, and cared for by our team. Now, all our customers are even more secure with the sound strength of Massey. It's a great feeling. Massey United Insurance. To learn more, contact our agents, JB Charles and Company Limited at 448-2876, CAM Dupini Inc. at 448-3012, and LA Dupini and Company Limited at 448-2310.
Okay, we have a few more minutes, and we have 2 farmers in the house this morning. I will spend time with them on a Tuesday morning. What's the latest, Mr. Telemac? Mr. Louis not doing too well, and we're wishing speedy recovery.
Yes, Mr. Giloni said he had contact with his wife, and things are going very well. So let's wish him the best.
They're both in St. Lucia, by the way.
They're both in St. Lucia.
Okay.
They're waiting some medical treatments.
Right. Matt, there is plenty happening.
Mm-hmm.
There is plenty saying, and I don't know if there is much that will be done by the voices I'm hearing. But this morning, Matt,
yes,
and to the listening public, it was amazing when I hear the Minister of Agriculture is calling back agriculture to the front burner.
You heard the Minister of Agriculture.
The Minister of Agriculture I asked last week to resign. Do the honorable thing. If you can't deal well with Cassie Bruce, which the stretch of Cassie Bruce would have those fertile, straight and flat land, road already to work them, water, irrigation, and everything. I said that he should do the honorable thing by resigning. But this morning, I hear he was boasting up his lips and chewing his gums and asking young farmers to get back into agriculture. He said, coffee. Look at so long Mr. Louis is advising we, the farmers of Dominica, to plant coffee.
There's a lot of potential.
Yes, look at so long Mr. Louis say, okay, just give Mr. Louis 50 acres of land and he will put coffee into place. Look at since Mr. Louis say, Carco. You know, Matt, the coffee and them I go by Mr. Louis. Since we are on this station, Farmers Cry, those coffee are bearing crops and crops since Mr. Louis saying that. Now, the Ministry of Agriculture, the ministry feel the pains. They feel the pains because they thought they could fool the people all of the time. But you can't fool the people. You'll fool some of the people, but not all the people for all the time. It come right in front of our face that the United Workers' Party, which has get on the ground and been doing some shipping of fruits of the farmer and produce and whatsoever, and bringing in money in such a short time in the hands of the farmer. Awake these guys. You have to do something. Whether you're not interested in doing something, but you have to say something. You cannot just stay there and sleep because Dr. Fountain and the team is on your back riding. So you got to move.
So you think they're only reacting because of the movements of Dr. Fountain finding that market there?
Yes. They were saying to us there was nowhere, there was nothing.
They admitted themselves that the markets were there for a long time.
So now...
And they have been there for 17 years, almost 17 years.
And listen, the child that was 17 years, 2000, is now 34 years of age. You took that child out of the farm from 2000, and now you're asking that child to go to the farm. The lady's nails are not the same nail they're born with. They have some strange nail. The ladies go for hairdo and whatsoever, put themselves into gum to suit the world that you show them. Today you're saying, turn back, we're going wrong. Matt, we cannot be wrong in agriculture. We can be wrong in anything else. Matt, tourists can only accompany agriculture. Matt, first of all, when the Green Age came in on our orange, grapefruits and lime and whatsoever, they never try anything now. They never tried to spray the tree, no one tree or a little patch to see what can happen. Then all they do, they pick up policemen and go Wesley with policemen, and your man can't even talk. Point Michelle. But you're from that area. You're bound know that they cut back the grapefruits, the orange and the lime. And now the minister is saying there is money, come and go and plant. Not somebody mad, somebody sick, somebody crazy. Somebody need to see the doctor. Somebody brain. These people not understanding. You can't keep back people for a matter of 34 years when you put that together. And waste, just like the young men and young women that should pick up skill. The government came out and said, Dominica haven't got builders. Dominica haven't got trained builders. Dominica have nothing for its own. Matt, today's madness that they're trying to see what they can get to satisfy we Dominicans. Look, work, we are more, boy, Matt, boy, Linton is a good fella, eh? And if people do not know what Linton is, it's because they haven't think well. If it's not Linton, well, who else would dig up those money where they was hidden? Matthew doesn't hear money?
A lot of money.
Matt, how much million for women that get pregnant to, you know what I mean? How much million, yeah? But Matt, one thing you do not hear, we have something to recompense the farmers for their loss for the 17 years. We know they are drained. We know the bank had stripped them. We know some of them lose their property, was sold for just the little few cents that they were owing the bank because of the same agriculture and of the same neglect and put agriculture on the back burner. Today, the government should be bold-faced enough to say all these millions that have going around, the farmers of this country have suffered for 17 years under my rule. I must do something to that. And government, you have to do something to that. Respect we the farmers of this country. You have made us suffer enough. You have do us what we were never thought that you would do to us. I want to say I am one of them who voted this government. I don't want anybody to forget, this is Fenton speaking. I'm one of them who voted the Labour government, which you know, Fenton, off. Okay? And I am one that they hit the sledge so hard on my head.
That's right, they try to kill your activities.
So hard on my head, up to now, they haven't given me a cent and say, after 13 years and 6 months, Fenton, I hold back your project, such expensive project to the bank and those who invest with you. I am giving you an interest. But where there's a God, there's hope.
Where there's a will, there's a way, Fenton.
Yes, in God's grace.
And this is the same thing you seen with agriculture. You must come back to the soil. Dominica can do what the hell it wants. Jump high, jump low. It must come back to the soil, man. Listen to what I was at home last week when I heard such an amazing thing. A fella named Jefferson Casey from Kings Hill was bedridden for 6 years, and he never gave up faith. He kept thinking in faith, he must walk up, he must get up, he must stand up and walk. And about a week ago, Matt, the man walked up Q95 steps. And what I checked, you see, the country is treating this thing just like it's treating agriculture. It has put, you don't hear about Jefferson, you're supposed to light the place with what happened to Jefferson. What I suspect happened to Jefferson is that even the people in his church are amazed of what happened to Jefferson. But this is faith, and it is written. You cannot please God unless you have faith. It is impossible to please God.
I never heard of that case.
You see who bringing it up? You see who bringing it up for you again? A person that started here on Q95 with gospel first. Gospel first. This man, it is written that is impossible to please God without faith. It is written again that the righteous must live by faith. And it is written further that faith is the victory that overcomes the world. Man, what you need to start with in those religions and churches is faith. But faith, if you practice faith in those churches, you will suddenly find that the church hasn't got
Faith
either.
as small as a mustard seed, right?
That's right. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, Matt, it will grow and burst and promote itself. This is what we have to stand up on. And up to now, the religions haven't spotted that, Matt. They haven't spotted it because faith is to the ordinary, and everybody can exercise faith. Mm-hmm. Now, what the religion and churches are doing to you is to make sure you don't get the trick of that faith. You don't get it. That is why we're like this.
Patrick.
And that is why we have deserted agriculture, and we singing now, jump high, jump low, you must come back to the soil. Of course you must come back. It's the same thing like faith. Without faith, nothing can be done.
You're a true believer, Patrick.
Of course I'm a true believer in what I see is true. In what I see is true. You cannot please God without faith.
Yes.
You're about to make a point there, Mr. Telemann. Yes?
Mm-hmm. I was saying last week, I called on the person who's treating the water at the dam.
What dam? We have several dams.
The one that feeds Margot, Wesley, Woodford Hill, and Calibi Sheep. Mm-hmm. And I scrutinize the person behavior for the rest of the week. And up to this morning, I can say to that person, this is the kind of person I am. You have changed, and you have given us a better water from I said so. So if you keep yourselves under that you did to us, I'll continue to say to you, thanks for treating us that way. Because I want to repeat this, that many people call me after the show, and they said, Fenton, you talk about the pancreas. It's not only the pancreas. You must talk about all the parts, which depends on the pancreas to do one or few things, as we know. Okay? The pancreas break down, and the kidney strain and whatsoever it is. If the liver is not healthy, the heart is not healthy, the pancreas is not healthy, and it takes effect on all these parts of the body. So I say to this person, I thank you for hearing me, and I thanking you for treating the water. If you can go a little lower, we'll still be happy with you. I very much thank you. And if I didn't say this morning, I wouldn't feel happy.
And I just want to say too, is on behalf of you, the farmers, that we want to wish our good friend at the Aid Bank, who, according to my good friend, his contract was not renewed, so he's home now.
Matt, it is taking us a long time to understand.
Your former employer of the Aid Bank as well.
And it is taking us a long time what was happening at the Aid Bank. They put strictly political
appointees
and political fellas who will respond politically to them in the Aid Bank. And they covered your eyes for you not to see what the Aid Bank is supposed to do. The Aid Bank, Matt, is supposed to be...
You should know.
It's supposed to be... It's written in the Aid Bank. It's supposed to be the greatest creator of jobs, in this country. Because when the Aid Bank took on a project, and I was in the department approving and managing projects, the project that had the most importance was the one that gained the foreign exchange and created jobs. This is the main function.
Are you suggesting that the Aid Bank has lost its mission?
Of course. Of course. I've been saying that here for a while, Matt. I've been saying it. Once Afi Martin was here with us, and he asked us, what do you suggest to do to fix up the Aid Bank? I say all it has to do is to go back to its core values, its main interest. Why it was placed there in the first place.
So it has lost that?
Yes, a long time ago. All the time I was in the Aid Bank, especially in the latter days, I was getting licks for standing up for development. Listen, Matt. In my days in the Aid Bank, when a consultant came in there and I was telling her, Aid Bank is, of course, off the course. She, after the Aid Bank labeled me as a mad fella, she listened to me when she interviewed me. And she found out that the core thing about the Aid Bank was this: the creation of jobs to bring in foreign exchange, to keep the island up. And that is what Aid Bank was doing for a number of years. For a while we were grateful to have Bananas leading the way. Bananas was leading the way in such a powerful thing that we fell back on bananas. But it wasn't bananas alone that the Aid Bank was supposed to be doing. Matt, we have an institution there that the politicians are covering. Every year the Aid Bank makes $1.5 billion in profits, and that is what they're contented with. Because the Aid Bank, in that kind of way, can support education, support housing. These are not the core things about the Aid Bank, you know, Matt. The Aid Bank, if you go to the Aid Bank today, the first thing you will see on the Aid Bank is agriculture. A boss of mine, a fella that was managing me,
former boss of you,
who was a doctor, told me to forget about development. He spoke like that to me in the Aid Bank. And I told him, listen, sir, I cannot forget about development in Aid Bank until you go and you cross out what is written on the Aid Bank. Agriculture, development of agriculture was first. Until you do that, you cannot tell me to forget about development. And that man spend his time,
Very interesting.
That man spend his time just killing the little projects, which is another thing Aid Bank understood that a lot of institutions have not understood. I see the credit union now is picking up its understanding in that direction. It's the small fellas in Dominica who have the island in hand, Matt, not the big projects. All the big projects in the Aid Bank were failing. All of them were failing. It's the small people who kept up the Aid Bank.
So you think a lot more concentration should go in that area?
Yes, we just have to go back and be serious about what our core interest is. What is our core duty in the Aid Bank? What is the Aid Bank made for? When I was there, when I told the consultant to get from the staff members what development means, Matt, I'm surprised. Apart from the manager at the time, not maybe only 2 staff members that understood what development was.
So the employees themselves don't understand?
Don't understand. They're not given the training. They're not given the initiation that this is what the Aid Bank is for.
I think we need to have a full discussion on the Aid Bank and the way forward. Mr. Telemac, you wanted to say something before we close out?
Yes, Matt. When I was at home, not well, a couple of weeks ago, I heard that on this said station, they was trying to find out, somebody raised the point that there was an inaugural meeting of a village council in Wesley at one time. And the government came up with suggestions that they were going to put who they want as chairman and not who the people select by votes.
Yes.
And that
I've heard that discussion before.
I heard they say it's my cousin that were the person in action. That's Arnold Telemac, but it's Fenton Telemac, not Arnold Telemac, which made the government go back to Roseau with its refreshments and everything it come to solve after inaugural.
You're joking. Were you part of that, Fenton?
Let me tell you, Matt.
I'm listening.
I don't come here for stories. I lay down on my bed and I grin. I say, hear how they could give my cousin my blanket and leave me in the cold. They okay? So I say, when I get on the station, I'm going to make that clear.
You wanted to clarify.
Upstairs the police station, we had that. And my people downstairs, the police station. And I stay upstairs and whisper them, look, the past chairman you voted against because of his behavior is now about to be chairman made by the Prime Minister Eugenia Charles. We were very nice. And that lady was very nice. So she never believed that I would take it so hard. But I take it on the people downstairs. I'm not seeing people supporting things now, you know. The people supported me. The people supported me. Because when I was fixing the road to go to the Roman Catholic Church, leaving the police station to go down that hill, people used to fall on Sundays when they're going to church, going to the health center, where the health center built down there to go to Mopo and so on. People could stand up and see people getting their big fall when rain fall and so on. We have the cement there, we have the materials and so on, and the council. As a member of the council, I call up a team and I start fixing roads. I'm free to the work, you know. Just like the school. I took off the school roof in Wesley and put it back.
Matt, what I have found working for this system of things called Dominica, they do not like people like us. They do not like people who develop the country.
They don't like people who speak out.
No, Dominica is against its own self, Matt. Dominica is against its own self, its own soul, its own heart. Its own spirit, it's against that. And when you come and talk to them, Matt, they're furious. And those who are not furious keep quiet because they know you have more information than them. You can show it to them in the book of books.
And Matt.
Yes, Mr. Telemark, we have to wrap it up. Go ahead.
I'm a man, not say I'm a man of party for what I can get. I'm a man for development of my people. And Matt, if I vote for this government as I vote for this present government there, and they're bullshitting as they bullshit there, I go out and speak boldly as I speak. Not with water in my mouth.
You're a man of your word.
Thank you, man.
All right.
A Porto Liberite.
Yeah.
But we became friends. Because we had the same development.
Same principles.
Yes.
All right.
Where in Dominica you could hear a man putting ponds together and producing shrimp? Huh? Where else could you hear that? From these two fellas here, Fenton and Deloney. When fellas couldn't understand what it is Fenton was trying to do, I stood up by him. And we did things together, Matt. As though I was
so there are no more prawns as we speak.
That's killed.
Dominica, the news is next. Thank you very much. We'll continue talking with the farmers.
Until next week. I pray God I'll be here.
Thank you.
We must go back to the sun. Jump high.
Good morning and welcome to Q95's morning news update for today, Tuesday, 4th of April 2017. Brought to you compliments Dominica Brewery and Beverages Limited and NCCU Limited.
Bring them in, I say, bring them in. Yes, the bottles are coming, and we are happy. Menupaka where the Guinness, the Shandy, and the Malta bottles. Pity free. Yes, continue menese bouteille la bière one tray, but where are the Guinness, the Shandy, and the Malta? Mem conseil la bière, every 24 empty $6, and every full crate is $10. Will I oye? Under the potager, in the storeroom, under the cellar, under a step, in the drain, the grass, the highways, the byways. Find them with you, and bring them in. Bring the empty ones, and get your money.
The National Cooperative Credit Union Limited, NCCU, is extending on its commitment to great member service by providing 24-hour access to all your NCCU accounts via QCall, our 24-hour telephone teller. Whether you need assistance managing your NCCU accounts, checking for salary deposits, purchasing top-up and electricity power, or simply verifying your NCCU debit card transactions, don't worry, QCall is here for you. Just